I am HaplessLuckett.
I am Guymanbrodawg.
I'm the Fireball.
I'm just Jake.
That works so well.
And we are here to discuss some things. We also have an Iggy who's always here with us. So yes, first of all, even though he wasn't here last week, we do need to introduce Jake, the fourth member of Nerd WERD. Yeah. Welcome, Jake.
Glad to be here this time.
Well, we're absolutely glad to have you. So, first of all, how was everybody's Christmas? I'll get my holidays mixed up.
Mine was great. You know, if mine was, his was.
I had a great Christmas. It was super sick. Got a lot of new games. A lot of streaming opportunities coming up.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You're getting ready to start streaming now.
More games to play too. We all got Back for Blood. So
yeah.
We ended up playing that.
You can get Jacob to join us for some Back for Blood.
Yeah. It's gotta go and buy it.
Dad can play on his Nintendo 64.
I don't have a Nintendo 64.
Yeah, that's mine now.
I only have an Oculus Quest 2. That's it.
Do you have an Etch-a-Sketch or something? Anything?
Had to sell that for milk money.
Jake, how was your Christmas?
You know, it was solid, man. It's always good to see the family and people you don't get to see on a usual, well, I guess for other people, maybe a little bit more of a normal basis. Yeah. But, you know, it was good seeing them. Got a PlayStation gift card. Speaking of Back for Blood, I wish I would have saved it instead of spending it last night when I got home, because I bought the Jack and Dexter bundle on PlayStation Network.
All right,
which is, it's a good purchase, but...
Oh, yeah, you have PlayStation 4, right?
Yeah, I have a 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, some people can't talk about the awesomeness of the PlayStation 5. But I can, though. I can definitely talk about that. You can check me out streaming. Here's a little self-plug. Check me out
We can talk about how I'm going to steal your PS5.
Hashtag self-love.
I'm going to sell your PS5
Don't you know
PS5
you don't
money.
interrupt a man's plug. Plug away, sir.
Plug, yeah, check out the PlayStation 5 and other game streams Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday at 8.
It's an unwritten rule that I thought everyone understood.
I don't know. First, before we start talking about video games and their cinematic counterparts, we need to dive into everything that we know everyone wants to talk about. Julian, you know what to hit the people up with.
Spoiler warning ahead. If you are not caught up with the latest episodes of Hawkeye, actually it's done. If you haven't seen all the way through Hawkeye, leave now or forever hold your pee. I don't know the phrase. What is it?
Yeah, it's about right.
Yeah.
Spoilers, you've been warned. 5,
4, 3,
2, 1. Get going.
You've been warned. Oh, yeah, that's a thing that we do.
Yeah, we do that.
Yeah.
So whenever there's spoilers, we get a countdown, and we all say, you have been warned.
One more time, just for my own memory.
Yep. Okay.
Let's get Jake in there.
Count it down.
And it counts down from 3.
Yeah.
Thank you. 3, 2, 1.
You have been warned.
Oh, is it you have been
Yes.
warned?
Yeah. We did that thing
That is what we settled on.
You have been warned.
We're working on it, people, but you heard it coming together. You heard it right here.
Bottom
it's coming
line.
together.
Yeah, so
You've
what
been warned, and the last episode of Hawkeye gave us, honestly, a really hard Kingpin to top if anyone else were to try to do a cinematic Kingpin.
Well, yeah, he actually, I think he settled that in Daredevil, though. He settled that you're not going to be able to top Vincent
D'Onofrio.
And I mean, that's true. Like, he was awesome. Kingpin was frightening.
Yeah, I felt that Kingpin. I loved it. I think he needs to continue on, which he will.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I thoroughly enjoyed him. It looked like he got bigger. He looked like he was bigger than he was in Daredevil.
Well, I think that's how they shot it, too. I mentioned that when they were sitting in the scenes, he was just towering over that lady.
Mm-hmm.
And I love it because in the comics, he's a towering dude. Mm-hmm. He's like 7 foot or 8 foot. He's big.
He's a big boy.
He's a big
shit. He's really big in the Spider-Verse. He's comically big in the Spider-Verse.
He's a literal wall in the Spider-Verse.
Yeah. What about you, Jake?
It's a thing.
No, give us your opinion.
No. I thought what you guys had said, man. I think for the MCU, the verse. Gonna make that a thing.
The verse, I do dig
the
it.
verse. For the MCU, I thought it was a really well done Kingpin. I thought it was shot really well to show that height difference and everything else that kind of goes into that subconscious, subliminal way of telling a story. I thought it was really cool, man. Like, I was excited to finally see Kingpin. I hadn't watched Daredevil yet, so when I heard about Kingpin being
Nani?
I told you in that text message I'm trying to make it through the Frank Miller Daredevil book before I read it. Which
Frank Miller's awesome.
Fair enough.
Miller's awesome. You're not missing it.
I'm going to adjust this a little bit so it's in between me and Fireball.
It's a fairly long read.
Yeah, of course. Yes.
With all the other creative stuff that we do, it's just something that's just kind of in the slow room. But big fan of Kingpin from the Spider-Verse, and hearing all the hype from No Way Home about Kingpin being potentially involved in those other movies, I was like, hey, that's really cool. Kingpin's one of those like apex predator villains.
Yeah, he is.
Sure.
Absolutely.
He will hunt you down and mess up your world, buddy.
Yes.
He's a threat.
Big time threat.
I've got a question for the lot of you. What were your thoughts on that fight, Kate Bishop versus Kingpin?
Oh, I'll tell you what I think, but one of y'all will go first.
Yeah, you tell us. You start off, Jake.
Kate Bishop got the hands. Right? Look, I thought that she hasn't really done much. You don't really know how much experience she has fighting and stuff. But seeing her go toe to toe with this dude that everyone's been afraid of the whole season,
Hawkeye himself, and
she made it out alive. Even Hawkeye pulled her aside, told her not many people walk away from that. Good shit, and that's true. She's savage for that.
I agree, but I have to disagree by saying she got the hands. She got dealt the hands because, I'm not gonna lie, even though she did take down Kingpin pretty much single-handedly before Echo, she got lucky.
Yeah.
She got lucky more than anything because he kept putting paws on her. She tried.
Kingpin.
Yeah,
she couldn't dominate him physically. That's for sure.
She didn't. But she got lucky that everything happened. It just so happens that her explosives were there when she did the little trick. It was a nice callback to the beginning. I like how they called that back, but it's still just pretty much luck.
I think it was her aim, man. I think it's
she was smart enough to know that would work.
At the end, yeah, I agree. At the very end, I think it does accompany intelligence. But throughout the entire battle, I guess a win is a win, but she still got more lucky.
Yeah, she got dealt with.
Yeah,
she did.
I don't know through the whole thing, she had to pick where those arrows are going. When that hole was in the wall and she shot that arrow that. She did that. That's not luck. That's
she did that to keep him contained. But after,
she had the situation under control, is what I'm saying.
She did.
What's Jake think?
I want to fix his camera. Continue.
You did see the fight, right?
Yeah. No, I did. Separating Kingpin.
My bad.
Separating the Kingpin that I've read and loved, and looking at it as a separate thing. I thought it was pretty dope. I thought it was a pretty clever way of doing it because he takes he picks up that quiver and he snaps the arrows and almost
that was sick.
That's taking that fight up to the next level because she's not, she's not a brawler. She's an archer, right? So she's not good with hand-to-hand combat, and she uses that to the advantage in the fight. And there's a callback with the coin flip thing to set it off. It was a well-done fight scene.
That was.
I agree.
That comes from our cinematic guy, Jacob.
Yeah, and if you want to know what I said, I agree what he said. Moving on. That was it.
Fair enough. Okay. Now, after the conclusion of Hawkeye, now that we know everything that we've known from the series, for those who don't know, this is just my opinion. I want to know what you guys' opinions on that scene with Echo. According to the comic books,
yes,
I should have looked it up. I couldn't remember which one it is, but Echo does end up shooting Kingpin point blank in the face.
Right.
Doesn't die. He just gets blinded and then eventually goes back to being Kingpin again. So that's my opinion. I think they may end up following that because to give us Kingpin now, especially once they give us Daredevil at the same time. To get rid of him would be...
that would be dumb.
That would be dumb, and that would be a missed opportunity. What do you think?
It was just a big reveal.
Yeah.
I think
everyone was hyped to see him. That would be dumb to kill him off. That is true.
Yeah.
I think it's too specific of a scenario for them to not be following that story.
Right.
I mean, when has Kingpin ever got shot in the head? You know what I mean? Like
that comic book that I just
In
mentioned.
that comic.
The one time it happened was
it
this
was
exact
Echo.
scenario.
And it was Echo that did it.
it was Echo.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but it's the MCU though, and it's Kevin Feige, so you know.
Yeah,
It's,
switch
but
it up a
that's
little
like
bit.
too right on the money. Like fans of the comics will know where that's going, and I think we do. I'm pretty sure that's where it's going.
I think he'll switch it up a bit, but it'll follow that arc.
Oh yeah, it probably won't be too
I mean, Echo's getting her whole show. She's getting the whole show. That's obviously going to be what it follows. That's going to keep Kingpin in the MCU, and then boom, we're going to start seeing him in movies.
Yeah, to see Kingpin in a movie, that would be fantastic.
And it'll happen.
Yeah. But then again, he's kind of gotten to, because season 1 and season 2, he was kind of like the main villain.
Well, yeah.
So he's kind of gotten like 2 movies in a way.
I mean, yeah, sort of.
Yeah, but to see him actually like on the big screen.
Right.
I don't think MCU will deny that. I think you'll get a Kingpin as a villain on the silver screen.
Absolutely. It'll happen.
I really hope so.
Dude.
I really hope so. That would be so fantastic. Now seeing what happened after our last conversation on the last episode, you saying that you weren't so excited to see Echo, are you now more excited and want to see it now that Kingpin?
If I watch the Echo show, which I probably will now because I'm pretty sure that's what it's going to follow, in my eyes, I'm not watching Echo. I'm watching Kingpin. I'm watching the Kingpin show. Echo's the villain. I love Kingpin and I'm rooting for him, and that's my dude. I can't wait to see where we go. So yeah, I'll be watching the show now. They got me.
They got you just purely based on Kingpin.
Yeah.
What about you, Jake? Are you gonna watch it?
Yeah, man, I think it's really cool that the MCU has given representation to the hard of hearing and deaf community.
Yeah, that's
through Echo. So if they continue going in with the way that they did it, using ASL and bringing in, forgetting his name,
Kazi.
They bring Kazi into it, so there's that continuation of it. I think that's really cool.
Well, Kazi is now dead.
But the MCU does time travel now.
No one in the MCU was ever truly dead.
Tony Stark.
Shit, he's still living on. Every movie's got Stark Tech in it. He's alive.
This is very true.
And that's going to bring up AI Tony later.
No Way Home pretty much brought up the point that there's multiple universes, so there's a universe within the MCU that we haven't seen yet where Tony Stark is still alive.
Boom.
Boom. Yo, so technically Tony Stark ain't dead.
No one in the MCU ever is. So let's always remember that.
Yeah.
That takes away some of the sadness of when they do die.
Except
like
for
Black Widow.
Natasha.
Yeah, she's gone.
Natasha's definitely dead.
She's gone for sure. And
yeah. She ain't coming back.
Oh.
Can we talk about that scene in Hawkeye relevant to that?
Oh,
with Yelena versus Clint.
Okay,
yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
That was
going
sick.
from the back end of the episode and then making our way towards the beginning.
Yeah, we're gonna throw it around so people don't get too confused.
That's just what we do, though.
We're doing it like Quentin Tarantino, man. Gotta tell it from the end and then go to the start.
That's good storytelling, my
we wanted
friend.
to start with the good stuff, and the episode just kept getting progressively better.
And I forgot to mention that was an amazing fight and an emotional scene.
I'm not gonna lie, that scene did it took everything in my soul to not cry. Like, my eyes watered, but I didn't cry. I tried not to, because that wasn't really an emotional scene, because she finally learned the truth, and she sold it. Florence Pugh,
Puig.
It's P-U-G-H.
Puig?
It's Puig.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's...
Like the baseball player.
Oh.
I've been saying Pew this whole
That's
time.
what I thought. So my apologies, Florence. Yeah. So either way, Yelena. The first, she gave it a fantastic performance. Like,
amazing.
She sold that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I really felt like that was her sister she was talking about.
Like, if she's the next Black Widow, I'm cool with that.
I'm fine with that.
Like, she's earned it.
Yeah, I'm sorry. You got an opinion too.
No, I don't.
Oh, you don't have an opinion?
I've been in agreement in everything you said this entire time. That's why I've just been like, what's the point of 4 people? We're all around just kind of circle jerking each other. You agree with me? Yeah, you agree with me.
If that's what I thought this was, I would have been here earlier.
Oh, that's exactly what this is. And I didn't even take out my phone to see if people are commenting. So I'm a horrible host, people. I am sorry if you have said something and I have not said anything back. I apologize.
But I
apologies.
I kind of want to see a Kate Bishop and
Yelena.
Yeah.
I keep wanting to stay Anastasia.
That's why they built a friendship in this movie.
There were like little moments.
I think they're gonna do. I think they're gonna do a team up.
I would like to see it.
They could. And should really.
Well,
I agree.
They're eventually gonna do that because they're setting up either the Young Avengers or the New Avengers. So that's gonna end up happening, and I really do like that connection that they have. Sort of like the same type of connection that Natasha and Clint had.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, but at the first stage, of course, so they're just now meeting each other. But still, even just first meet each other, and Yelena's got a mission, and she would normally kill anybody in her way. She ends up connecting with this chick.
Yeah.
So
kind of cool.
It's really reflective on how Clint and Natasha met. Like, it was the same sort of scenario where Hawkeye was the one going to try to kill Black Widow and couldn't. But now the roles are reversed, and it's two new people, but in the same roles.
And you called it, too, last week.
Yeah.
You did call it.
Yep, that's exactly what they did.
Would you mind handing me my Coke, please?
Not a sponsor.
Yet.
We're actually sponsored by Pepsi. Thank you, Pepsi. Don't hate us for this. No, we're not sponsored by Pepsi.
Oh, God. So anyway,
what do you guys think about the Shield 19?
Oh yeah,
that's cool.
The watch.
The watch.
I was wondering who that was in reference to the whole time.
It is in reference to Mockingbird.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And
his former SHIELD agent, and that's why she knows so much about Clint's life.
Yeah.
His wife.
That's awesome.
And I did not make that connection until later on. And it made me want to go back and watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. because I watched like the first couple episodes of the first season. I didn't really get into it as much as I should have. So I'm going to probably go back and watch some more of it because I've got a lot of shows I need to catch up on. I've got an awful lot.
Yeah.
Well, not in the MCU because the MCU is the shows that caught up. Like, got to finish Daredevil season 3. I haven't watched any of the Punishers. Please forgive me, guys. I'm probably not going to watch Luke Cage or Jessica Jones season 2 or Iron Fist season 2 because the first seasons of those were kind of just
meh.
I loved Luke Cage.
Really?
Yeah, I was hyped on that. I don't binge watch a lot of things, but Luke Cage was like one of probably the last shows where I sat down and I was like, oh shit, I'm at the end of the season. Oh, it's 10:30 at night. But like, I mean, like you have like the first guy he fights. It's been forever since I watched it, but that second one, Judas, like that whole entire thing was kind of lame. But
yeah,
the second season's it's kind of flat.
Yeah, that's why. Because the first season kind of ended flat, so that's why I wasn't really excited to see where it picked off. But speaking of picking off, let's move on. How are we feeling about? How excited are you guys? To put it differently, how excited are you for Sonic 2?
Oh yeah, that's right up my alley.
Really?
I'm super excited. I have Sonic tattooed on my leg. I am a huge fan. And just seeing the trailer alone looks like I am getting, as a fan, everything that I ever wanted from a Sonic movie.
Yeah.
I'm geeked. I can't wait. I'm going to be the oldest person in line freaking out like the kids are.
I grew up
talking to 7-year-olds.
I grew up playing old school Nintendo, the NES.
Mm-hmm.
My cousins had a Sega Genesis, and I got my exposure to Sonic through them. But they had moved farther away, so I didn't really go over there all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Not being like a huge Sonic fan and seeing what they did with the first movie, like I'm interested.
You like the first one?
I did. It was great to see Jim Carrey back.
Yes, it is always good.
And he's got the stash. He looks so good.
Papa's got a new stash.
I don't care if he's not fat. He's perfect.
I feel like if they added that and actually like gave him a gut, that is like the only thing missing, or rather, that's stopping this thing from being a perfect Sonic movie.
Well, you know that they're gonna do a 3.
Oh yeah, it's happening.
And there is really
they're gonna add Shadow and Amy.
No,
and all
really.
of them.
Oh my God, give us Shadow. I want Shadow.
That would he might show up. Who knows?
I don't think in this one.
No, he might show up like towards the end, just like how Tails showed up at the end of the first one. Just like a little tease, like he'll pop in like, "Hey,
maybe.
I'm Shadow," and then because isn't Dr. Robotnik pretty much the villain of every game?
Yeah.
So he's gonna probably come back in the third one, and he might be fat.
Yeah, if they have to make up an enemy to make another movie, no one's gonna want to see it. That's not the enemy.
Yeah.
Robotnik is the enemy.
Yeah, he's always been the enemy. Every single time. It's almost like Bowser was always the enemy for Mario.
Well, not always. No, he had other enemies. He had Wart and King Koopa and all
King
kinds
Koopa
of...
was Bowser, wasn't he?
Well, I think...
He was Bowser.
I don't know. I think Bowser was above King Koopa. We might have to Google that one. I'm not sure.
I'm gonna Google that.
I always thought they were two separate entities, but he also had Wart in Mario Brothers 2. There was a lot of enemies.
Well, let's see.
Wait.
What?
No, I just don't. Oh, that's the frog from.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I had to think about that. I was like, wait, Wart. Like I was going through like all the things that you come across in Super Mario 2 is running through my head because I played it the other day and I was like,
the big boss at
what
the
the
end.
hell
That's
is he
King
talking
Wart.
about? Yeah, that's right.
Fair enough. And yes, Bowser is King Koopa. They are both one and the same.
I always thought they were two different things.
Well, see, you
learn.
Listen to Nerd Word or be on Nerd Word. You learn nerd stuff.
You don't even have to be on it. You can just learn from this show.
That should be the really long slogan and tagline. Everything the both of you just said.
We got to get bumper stickers started right away.
Absolutely, Jake. You're willing to fund that, right?
Yeah.
Oh, well, you heard it.
Nod, boys.
Yep.
Smile and nod.
You heard it. Jake's sponsoring it. We're now sponsored by Jake.
Sponsored
We'd
by
like to thank
Just
our
Jake.
sponsor, Just Jake. Thank you for sponsoring this segment of today's show.
Actually, can we get a sponsor breakdown from Peter Griffin? Peter Griffin, would you like to do Jake's sponsor? The Jake sponsor.
Yeah. This Peter Griffin here. So we'd like to thank our sponsor, Just Jake, apparently, for coming in here and just sponsoring the thing. Yeah. Go Jake. All right. Yeah.
That was great. That oh my god, that kills me. So Peter Griffin, ladies and gentlemen. All right.
So we wanted to move on to topic, right?
Yes.
Because we have a tendency to do that.
So we're talking about video game movies.
Yes.
We're talking about Sonic specifically.
And that's really kind of what started the
Yeah. So did you have something to add in?
Oh no, I was going a little bit more into random Sonic trivia. The darker cartoon that came out after the one that everybody thinks of is Sonic eating hot dog, chili dogs.
Mm-hmm.
So it's chili dogs. The darker one, was that Eggman? Was Eggman the antagonist of that? I don't remember.
Eggman and just like Bowser, one and the same.
That one is one and the same. It's just a nickname.
Yes. No, I just can't remember if that character.
Oh, he was.
Yeah, because he even called him that in the end of the first Sonic movie. He's like, he said something and he called him, yeah, Eggman. And then I actually geeked out. Like, oh, he called him Eggman. But he doesn't look like an egg anymore. He's just in something that looks like an egg. That little shell thing looks like an egg.
Yeah.
Speaking of video game movies, I want to know you guys' top ones. Julian, Guyman, starting with you, like, what are your top video game movies?
I loved the Tomb Raider movie with Alicia Vikander.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was like completely accurate to the Tomb Raider that I grew up with. The what was it, 2013? It came out, the first one came out.
Yes, I think it was 2013. We all remember that one.
The other Tomb Raiders were before my time, so I wasn't really attached to those. But seeing this badass, like, super hot chick doing all this crazy stuff, it's like I loved it. And to see that put into a movie like completely seamlessly. It was like right from the game. It was
a good movie.
That
was
movie was
cinematically
awesome.
stunning.
That was like my favorite.
It is, because I keep forgetting that you did kind of grow up in a different time than we all.
Angelina Jolie, Laura Croft, which she looked just like her counterpart in the video game then. That's just a different era.
But the only difference between those is the newest reboot was good. The old one sucked.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan.
Yeah, those movies sucked. I mean, regardless, Angelina Jolie filled the part perfectly.
She was good, but
she was good. The movies were just
so.
What about you, Jake? What's your number one?
My number one. I have to chew on it a little bit more and think about it harder. I was going to say Resident Evil and then spend the rest 30 minutes of me defending Mila Jovovich's ETA's Resident Evil movie, but I'm going to throw that one over to you, Fireball, while I think about it a little bit harder.
Since you mentioned Resident Evil, actually, I was thinking, just based on the trailer alone, I haven't had the chance to see it yet, but the new Resident Evil movie, I think that, just on the trailer alone, might be the best video game adaptation to movie we've ever gotten, ever. And I still haven't even seen it. But if not, I'm going to go with Sonic 2. I don't know. Sonic 2 I haven't seen yet either, but it just looks so perfect.
Okay, but you can't
looks can be deceiving.
Yeah,
they
looks
can
be completely.
So from what I've seen,
because we have Doom, that looked good, and then we all know how it turned out.
From what I've seen, honestly, it's really, really hard to say. I mean, there haven't been a lot of really good ones.
I'm thinking of one right now.
Come back to me.
So come back to Jake and come back to me.
We'll double reverse.
Change my answer.
Oh, okay.
No, screw you.
I
have my thought.
Yeah, he had his thought.
95 Mortal Kombat, man.
95 Mortal Kombat.
We were talking before about being true
Mm-hmm.
to the source material. Like, the 95 Mortal Kombat follows the little slides that come up in the Mortal Kombat arcade cabinet to a T.
Yes.
Like, that's exactly what the lore of MK was, which was pretty much non-existent. Which was cool to see him not go off in a random direction.
Now see, these two are going to disagree with me because I know them too well. I'm going to agree with you. They're going to say that the other one is better. Like, the newest one is better.
That's where I was...
I love the newest one, Brandon. I love it, but I have to agree that as far as story, as far as context of the film, granted it was missing the blood and the fatalities, but that...
Well, it's two eras of movies, too.
Yeah.
Like, if they could have done what they did with the new Mortal Kombat that came out over the pandemic, it'd have been a totally different movie. You know what I mean? So,
it would have been better. For me,
I like kung fu movies, and Mortal Kombat has that certain level of like cheesy choreographed fighting to it, and it was the first we got to see of an actual attempt at making a movie based off a video game.
And the biggest difference between those two that no one really ever talks about is the fighting. Granted, they were more focused on their weapons and their attachments as opposed to the actual combat. Go back and watch the 95s. Like, the fight scenes between them was literally about combos, was about fighting and punching and using their special moves sparingly. And the newer one is more about like the special moves because of the graphics and stuff. Kung Lao uses had a lot more. And the Liu Kang's fireballs and the kicks and the stuff. Their fighting wasn't really like martial arts, especially the big climactic fight between Scorpion and Sub-Zero. It was like a sword fight.
Right.
We don't want to see
a lot
that
of
shit.
Superpowers.
Yeah. I want to see them two go straight up fisticuffs.
I do agree. There could have been a little more of that. We did get some of that though with the kunai in the garden with Scorpion before he became Scorpion.
Yeah.
But if you want my opinion, coming back to me real quick, I'll go ahead and say the new Mortal Kombat probably one of the best video game movies we've gotten.
Yeah.
Probably in my opinion.
I want to agree with that.
In its own way, yeah.
So you both switched your answer?
I'm switching my answer.
So both of you are saying Mortal Kombat 2020.
It was great.
It's a similar situation with the Tomb Raider movie and games. Like, you guys had a different type of Mortal Kombat. I grew up on Mortal Kombat 9 and up.
Yeah.
And that's what that movie gave me. So it's like
9 and up?
Pretty much, yeah.
He's a young buck.
Well, I actually did play Armageddon, and I think that was on the original Xbox, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
That was the one where you can like customize a character and stuff, right?
Yeah.
That game was awesome, but when I played that, I wasn't really paying attention to story and stuff. I more or less just played it for the fights. Mm-hmm. This movie was everything that I wanted.
It was good, man.
I can totally see that from as a fan of Mortal Kombat. I love the combos. I loved all the moves and the fatalities and stuff like that. But still, the substance of the story wasn't what did it, because it wasn't even about the tournament.
Yeah, I could have done without the whole Cole part of the story.
Yeah,
Cole, just give us Scorpion instead of making him a remnant.
Yeah.
Or Johnny Cage and just follow the...
Yeah, because...
that's what NetherRealm's doing with their storyline in the game anyways.
And not only
the
that...
whole thing with MK10.
Not only that, like, the newer stories, like you were saying, like the 9 and ups, they were focused more or less on Johnny Cage, as opposed to Liu Kang, because the originals, it was all about Liu Kang.
Right.
And then now it's about Johnny Cage and Cassie Cage. Like, they're the center stage of Mortal Kombat right now.
Right.
I mean, granted, of course, Scorpion and Sub-Zero are still the poster children of it.
Right.
But
the story, but the story revolves
more about the cages.
Sonya too. I mean, she's involved in that whole.
Yeah, she is.
You know, I mean, like, and they did a lot of things where they took a lot of love notes, and there's a lot of fan service that kind of comes together to make the plot of Mortal Kombat 2020. Mm-hmm. And it's just that Cole thing, man. Like, the studio's bringing in surrogate characters into something that already has an established fan base.
Yeah. That's not a good idea.
Which they did do with Sonic. Yeah, they did. They actually do that with almost every video game that comes out. The only game that they didn't do that with, I'd have to go back to his original one, was Tomb Raider. They did add small characters in there, but they weren't like the focal point. Like how the original Resident Evil, the focal point was Mila Jovovich's character, who had never seen a video game a day in her life, even after she was established. Right. Still, there was like no skins, no DLCs of Alice's character ever. She was strictly for the movies. True. So, which is why I'm kind of hoping, like, if WB just takes Cole and makes him a playable character, it might add more to the game and to the connection. Like, oh yeah, they care about, you know, our fans. Right. And they make him awesome as opposed to like giving him the stupid shit that he had in the movie.
Yeah, if he was literal plot armor, I'd appreciate him in the movie more.
Yeah. Like, you liked his literal plot armor.
Call me crazy, but I liked Cole. Period.
He crazy Johnny Cage.
It was different, you know. Like if they would have gone the Johnny Cage route, we would have literally been seeing exactly what we saw in the games. It would have been no different.
That's usually something.
There were so many like
1.5 problems with what they tacked onto it. Now that you mentioned it. He kills Goro, man. Goro is like an undefeated monster in that, like, where it's supposed to take place.
He's won 9 of the 10. This would have been the last one he won, and he just literally beat him with his literal plot armor.
Okay, plot armor in effect. I get it. But I mean, aside from that, it was kind of cool to see something different. I don't know if I'm crazy for that or not, but
no, that's
you're not crazy. But I mean, like I said, he would have been cool as a side character. Like, if he wasn't just like the main focal point of the movie, it would have been a little bit better. But he was like the main focal point. But speaking of more video game movies, did you guys know that there is supposed to be a Mario movie coming out? I don't think it's live action. I think it's animated.
Okay.
And Chris Pratt.
Cool. Yeah, I heard about
the voice of
I'm pretty
Mario.
excited.
It's really disappointing it's not Ron Jeremy.
Now that would be good.
Now, is he gonna be Chris Pratt playing Mario as Chris Pratt, or is he gonna try to do a Mario?
See, that was the thing I was getting ready to ask. Is he gonna do that? Because Chris Pratt generally plays Chris Pratt in every movie.
I hope he's not just another Emmett from the Lego movie. Because that was just him doing his thing in the studio. Like,
that Lego movie is fire, okay?
It was good.
I didn't see the sequel. What do you think,
Fireball? There's a sequel?
I have no thought on any Lego movies.
No, I'm talking about as far as...
Lego Batman.
As far as the Mario thing, again, Mario's another one I have tattooed on my leg. I have a deep affinity for Mario. I've got a deep love. That was what I grew up with. That was my childhood. Love Mario. So I'm excited to see what he does with it. Chris Pratt's my dude. He's killing it as Star-Lord. Let's see if he kills it as Mario.
I can just see him. It's me, Mario. God damn it, Chris. Go sit down. Take 3. It's me, Mario.
I'm gonna have faith in him until he lets me down. And that's how I said about Robert Pattinson's Batman as well. You know, I mean, just because he was in Twilight, don't mean dude can't play Batman. So let's see what he does.
Well, see, but
then we'll judge. You know?
That's also the difference between an actor and someone who is typecasted. Chris Pratt literally plays as Chris Pratt in almost everything he is in. Robert Pattinson is an actor.
Yeah, that is.
He is an actor.
not actor, actor.
Yeah.
The properly pronounced version.
Yes.
Yeah. And that's not to take away anything from Chris Pratt. He can pull off a role.
He's got some acting chops.
He got some acting chops, yes. But it's just that whenever he plays a character, it's always pretty much the same character.
Mm-hmm.
Moreover, to that point, you know, back in '89 and '91, Keaton Batman movies, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody was super upset that Mr. Mom was going to be
He's got a point.
Batman. It's the same
duplicity, you know.
Yeah.
This guy, that's Batman. What?
And I mean,
he's in romantic comedies
and Oscar nominated Best Picture movies as well.
I mean, yeah. So yeah, we gotta judge them after we see them because a lot of these actors will really surprise us. Who would have ever thought back in the day that Robert Downey Jr. would be Iron Man?
Nobody.
And he became Iron Man and was the best one we could have gotten.
He did not let us down.
Not at all.
I hope Chris Pratt don't let us down as Mario.
I got faith in my dude. I got faith in him. I think he'll kill it.
I don't know what the rest of the cast is. The rest of the cast is like. I actually can probably look it up, which I probably should. But what do you guys? What would your Luigi be? Who would your Luigi be if
bring back John Leguizamo?
I was thinking the same thing.
Bring him back. He was the only good thing about that first movie. The only good thing. He was a perfect Luigi. Bring him back.
I have to see the movie.
I thought of a better recasting. Jack Black is Mario. Kyle Gass is Luigi.
Kyle Gass is too big. Luigi's not. That's not a Luigi character. They're both Marios. they could be. Jack Black could be until he eats a mushroom and then he's Kyle Gass.
Depending on how far you want to go into Mario canon, technically, because of color limitations. Luigi was literally Mario, just wearing.
I mean, yeah, okay. Depending on how far back you take it, but now that we've got the ability to differentiate between the two, I feel like we should.
No. Just the thought of Jack Black being Mario is funny to me.
He probably could be a good Mario though, and he's funny. Like I'm a big Jack Black.
Oh wow! Well, speaking of which, he is actually casted in this movie.
Really?
Yeah, Jack Black is in the movie, and you will not guess who he is playing as.
Toad.
No.
I was hoping.
Bowser.
He is playing Bowser.
No.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Wow.
Awesome.
I'm actually
Okay.
pretty excited
But
to know that.
you're also going to enjoy the rest of this cast. I really actually enjoy this cast.
Alright.
I don't know who Anya Taylor-Joy is.
Magic from Mutants.
Oh, yes. She
Mutants.
is playing Princess Peach.
Fair. I don't know who she is, but okay.
You didn't see
You've
the
seen
New Mutants?
New Mutants.
I don't think I've seen it.
That's the one where they're in the crazy hut.
Yeah.
And there's like the spirit.
Yeah, that's the one I haven't seen.
Yeah, she plays Ilyana Rasputin. The blonde hair Russian chick.
Yeah.
So that's her. And they do have Luigi, and I like this guy because he's funny as hell. But they got my boy Charlie Day playing as Luigi.
I don't know who that is either.
Oh my!
Charlie Day would be a fantastic Toad.
They actually got somebody else playing Toad. That's Charlie Day.
Oh, him.
Yes.
Okay.
Charlie from Always Sunny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I never watched Always Sunny from
He's got that
Horrible Bosses. The guy that
higher-
kind of looks like God damn it, what is his name? We played Spider-Man.
Tom Holland.
No, the animated one in the Into the Spider-Verse.
Jake Johnson.
Jake Johnson, yeah. I always get those two confused.
Jake Johnson.
Yeah.
What?
I do. I always get them confused.
Jake Johnson.
Yeah.
Like, wow.
You know what? Leave me the fuck alone. Okay?
No, I'm just admiring how bland of a name it is. I mean, like, it's like you have a sandwich and you put mayo on one part of the bread, and on the other side you took mayo and you put it on the other side. Took the meat for the sandwich, put it back in the fridge, and smacked.
Hey, it's not that bad. At least he's not just
He made
Jake
a
Johnson.
What's his middle name? David.
You know what? I'm kind of wanting to look up. You know what? You got me down this road.
But no, that's crazy. You know, I heard something about it. Like I think I saw something pop up on my newsfeed on Reddit, but I never got around to watching the trailer. That's impressive, and what we deserve over the 90s.
I just looked up what his actual name is. Oh God,
Austin.
Mark Jake Johnson Weinberger.
Weinberger.
Yeah,
That sounds delicious.
but it's the Mark Jake Johnson for me. It's the Mark Jake
Johnson. Okay.
Couldn't decide which book of the
So-
Bible to name him after, so they just went with
Now I
two of
got
them.
3 pieces of bread in between that sandwich, separating.
And then they put an
That's a
avocado
double-decker mayo
on top
sandwich.
of
Right, because of Weinberger.
it. One avocado.
And I understand because there's Mark Wahlberg, and then there'd be Mark Weinberg, and you don't want people saying Mark Weinenberger. I don't know, combining Mark.
That's not his real name.
No, it is. That is his real name. But anyway, back to
We
the
steered well, Tom.
Hey, that's what we
Hey,
do.
I brought this back. So, yeah.
It's what we do, though. It's okay to go off topic.
So
we're nerds. We're
have
about to
you
talk
seen-
about nerd stuff.
Has he seen the original Super Mario Brothers?
You please tell me. No, I don't think you did.
I have a long time ago. That's the one where the toads were like in trench coats and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
Atrocious.
Dennis Hopper plays Bowser.
Yeah.
I don't remember
not even a
everything
Bowser.
about that movie, but
No.
I am okay with that.
You know
You're
what?
probably better
Like-
off. I can't repress the memory.
I can't either. I still lose sleep at night.
It was horrible. Got to admit, Mario and Luigi were good, but the rest of the movie around them weren't.
Worst representation of
Yeah.
a video game villain. Shao Kahn for Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
Oh
or
my.
Dennis Hopper and Bowser.
Oh my.
Dennis Hopper's Bowser, by far the worst.
Ooh, no. I'm going to have to go with Shao Kahn.
No.
Yeah, you want to know why? Here's why. This is my reasoning why. Because in the first Mortal Kombat, they teased Shao Kahn. Shao Kahn looked like Shao Kahn. He looked like a monster. He looked vicious. He looked villainous. He looked like a bad guy. And then in the sequel, when they revealed him, he was just a bald dude in a helmet. Like
That's
that's him.
Oh god.
Like he didn't even look like a bodybuilder. He looked like he looked like Jake. He literally there was no threat to him. He was a regular. It was like the casting guys. It's like, oh shit, we lost our makeup dude. We gotta go find somebody now. And they walked down the street and they picked us. You want to be in a movie? Come here, let's go. and they taught him on the fly. That's and that was Shao Kahn. Bowser, they at least tried because that whole movie was fucked up from start to finish. So to add a horrible villain to a horrible movie, and granted, at least Mortal Kombat had cool fights, minus the kicking competition with Rated. But they literally dumped nothing into Shao Kahn whatsoever. Like they dumped nothing, and it was just.
I guess I didn't care enough about those movies to remember.
But Bowser was bad.
It's been so
It's-
long since I've seen those that I forgot.
You know what?
It's for the best.
It is for the best. Trust
I'm
me.
mentally scarred.
Like I said, I still lose sleep. Sometimes I have PTSD. I can just blank out and be like, oh no, Shao Kahn's coming to get me. I mean, Fred. His name is Fred. Oh, man. But yeah, I never did get to the other two characters, Toad and Donkey Kong. It's actually going to be in this movie. Yeah, Donkey Kong.
That's pretty cool.
Toad is played by everyone's favorite Keegan-Michael Key.
Oh, that's cool.
That's going to be dope.
Okay.
And
I'm on board.
I'll give you 3 guesses as to who Donkey Kong is. 3 guesses.
The Rock.
No.
The Rock. No.
Bill Goldberg.
Nope.
Is it someone who's in a lot of things?
Oh,
Yeah.
wait. Vin Diesel.
No.
Damn.
Samuel L. Jackson.
No.
Damn.
So you both have 2. You've only had 1. So everybody gets 3 guesses. Wait, what?
Craig Robinson.
Nope.
Oh.
So y'all each have 1 more guess.
Tom Cruise.
Nope.
Wait, who is it again?
Donkey Kong.
Donkey Kong.
Is it who you would expect?
No, I redacted that.
Mike Tyson?
Nope.
Is it
Oh,
Chris
that would be
Evans?
great.
No.
Emma Stone.
You've already. No. The person who is going to be playing Donkey Kong is Fireball.
So the whole thing was a
Doppelganger.
troll. Oh, Seth Rogen.
Seth Rogen is playing
Oh,
Donkey
what?
That'd be
Okay.
cool.
Actually, that's not bad, dude. We could be in for a real treat here.
I like it. I'm
But-
excited about that.
And since it's animated, I'm wondering what kind of animated it is. Is it going to be like Detective Pikachu animated, or is it going to be like cartoon animated?
I hope it's like
I'm pretty sure it's like
full-on
Detective Pikachu.
animated in every aspect. I think Mario can really only exist in his type of world. Like when they put them in like a real life scenario, like cars and city streets and stuff like that, it didn't work.
This is true.
So I think they'd have to fully animate all of the environment to match the characters.
Didn't they make an entire like real life city world in the newest Mario game though? Oh, was that on the Switch?
Oh, Odyssey.
Odyssey.
Yeah, they did do that in that, but
well, here's
I
my
also didn't really pay much attention to that game.
question as to why they would do that, because I think they should do it the way that you were saying, doing like Detective Pikachu, because they've already established like a game verse, because they got Detective Pikachu, they've got Sonic the Hedgehog, and they've also now got Mario and Donkey Kong, so we're getting a 2-for-1.
Right.
So
do you think we're leading up to a Super Smash Bros. Movie?
if I'm not
That'd be
gonna
funny.
lie, I mean, and they did announce that there's a Metal Gear Solid movie with Oscar Isaac.
Oscar Isaac.
Yeah, it's playing Solid Snake, so they might. There might be a
That's
game
too
version.
much. I won't see it.
I'll see it.
I'd see a Smash Bros.
I'm sorry,
movie.
Iggy. I just kicked you.
I don't know how they could do that and make that good.
You want out?
I think that'd be cool.
Good.
I like that we're seeing more of that though. Like these cinematic universes being established.
Yeah, I
like
do
I
like
love
that.
seeing movies build on each other and make like big chains. You know. Like,
Yeah.
It's crazy. Marvel's doing it up right now.
Okay, we've talked about like some of our favorite video game movies. Well, let's talk about the ones that we kind of did touch on some of them. Let's talk about more of the ones that we try to repress in the back of our memories.
Well, I'm going to try to avoid talking about the Mila Jovovich Resident Evils for your sake, sir.
We all
That
know
would be
where
the
we
direction
stand.
I would go, but I'm not going to do that because I respect you, Jake.
Well,
We all like bad movies. It's okay.
see,
True. I've got some favorites too.
Bad movies. We might have to make that a podcast.
Yeah, we got to make that a thing.
like our favorite bad movies, because I got a lot of them. But
Some of the worst ones.
I've got a couple off the top of my
Hitman.
head. Hitman.
Dead
Yeah.
Rising.
No, Hitman
Watchtower.
wasn't really that bad. I'll take that one back. In retrospect, it was pretty decent.
The first one was pretty decent.
Yeah.
I didn't see the sequel-ish. The second one, reboot, whatever. So I didn't see that. Let's see, what else? Doom.
Dead Rising, Watchtower, and Endgame probably. There was a sequel. There's 2 Dead Rising movies. Watchtower was garbage.
Really?
So bad. It was so bad, dude. Oh my god. I wish you all have seen
You're
it.
the only one that's seen it.
But basically, we follow this journalist, reporter guy with a camera, wears a suit, nice slicked hair. You all know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, it's
Frank?
not Frank.
Chase Carter.
Wait, who the fuck is he?
It's Frank West, but not.
For
Oh.
no reason. Why not just call him Frank?
And get this, here's the real kicker. Frank has a cameo in the movie. And it's Rob Riggle. And he could have just been Frank. Like, why not put Frank
They didn't
in
have
that?
it in the budget to make Rob Riggle their lead.
Crazy.
That's what it was. They had to get someone else.
But why would you
Crazy.
worry about casting Rob Riggle as Frank and not just cast somebody else as Frank and make
Right.
Frank
That's his whole point.
But
It makes no sense.
It's just funny because Frank and Chase are literally the same character. Like, to a T. it's so obvious what they did. Like, and Chuck Green was actually in the second movie apparently, but he was like kind of far down on the cast list, so I think he probably just had a cameo too. I would have been okay if they followed Chuck.
No, Chuck.
But the zombies are horrible, but I've also been spoiled with like The Walking Dead and the opposite side World War Z zombies. So these ones are just like there's one combo weapon scene in the movie. Like, combo weapons are a huge part of Dead Rising, and there's one scene.
Disappointing.
That does sound disappointing. Jake.
So, I have over 10 that are all tied in first place.
Worst
movie of all time. All directed by the same man. German fellow by the name of Uwe Ball. Starting with House of the Dead, Alone in the Dark, Blood Rain, Blood Rain 2 Deliverance, Postal, Alone in the Dark 2, Far Cry, Rampage, not the one you're thinking of that just came out.
I was going to say, how dare you disrespect The Rock like that?
No. That Rampage came out in like 2009.
That one was pretty good.
The third Blood Rain movie. There was another sequel to the other Rampage. And, yeah. I'm going to stop there because I haven't looked at the last of it. But the first thing that popped up in my head was House of the Dead.
Oh my god.
Which has absolutely nothing to do with the
You guys
arcade cabinet shooter. It's just Hollywood sometimes. We were talking about like Cole being weird, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hollywood will take things because they don't want to go. Like Resident Evil is a great example of like there's a story, but it's a little kind of convoluted. So let's make our own thing with it, and this is what we get out of it. That was basically how it like people complain about Resident Evil missing the fucking mark. Like Resident Evil was set in a mansion for starters. Like House of the Dead, like I mean,
so it's not even worth watching.
No,
okay.
It is honestly brain rot.
Brain rot.
I've never heard that before.
Brain rot.
Like you will drop an IQ points.
I like them IQ killer movies though. Sometimes those are funny.
Oh, perfectly. Yeah, you know. I mean, if you're really bored and you're like, I have nothing better to do, I want to stare like mindlessly at my television set. 2003, House of the Dead on Amazon Prime.
You know what?
Give it a plug, even though it sucks.
I think I want to do that. I think I want to lose my IQ points. I'm going to go ahead and watch it one day.
There you go.
I think I got one that no one has mentioned, but everyone in the world, I guess, forgot. What? The Blasphemous Street Fighter.
Oh, Lord have mercy. That was one of the worst by far.
Yeah. You never seen? That's another one.
Just don't.
Who was Guile on that?
Jean-Claude Van Damme.
That's it.
Yeah. This American military dude is played by a French man.
And he didn't even have the hair.
No, they just gave him the classic military flat top, and it wasn't like
the crew cut.
It was like what? It was fucking French.
Yep.
It's almost like if you would have cast Arnold Schwarzenegger as Bison. Yo.
Raul Julia was a good Bison, but he was in the wrong damn movie. He was the only one that was any decent.
Yeah, he was. But still, that movie was a travesty. Yeah, everything about it was wrong. Everything about that movie was wrong. Because wasn't E. Honda, he was Chinese, right?
Yes. No, Japanese.
Japanese, I'm sorry. He was Japanese. And they made E. Honda Samoan.
Yeah.
Ken and Ryu. Ken was American. Ryu was Japanese, Chinese.
I believe he was Japanese as well.
I'm remembering this now as you're talking about.
Yeah. He was. They were both pretty much damn near American. Yeah. He was American Japanese or whatever, but the Japanese was like that's probably like a receded genes. So,
yeah, something.
That movie was the fight scenes weren't even that cool.
No, they weren't.
So
and you would think they would have been better at least having Jean-Claude Van Damme in the movie. You thought the fight scenes would be great, but
yeah,
they were really chintzy and the special moves looked awful.
And the worst part about that entire movie, I mean, minus the bad acting and the wasted budget, what they did to my boy Blanca.
Oh God, he was the worst one.
That's what I was thinking of when you started talking about all the characters and the ethnicities. I was like, oh yeah, Blanca was in that.
What was Blanca?
It was another one of those moments where it was like, hey, you want to act? Come here.
Yep.
They spray painted him green and put him in a tube for an hour and a half.
Yep.
And you see him later, he's just some
there.
green dude who's got basically like Lou Ferrigno. It was actually like he was a big dude, but he wasn't like big like Blanca was, and he wasn't short like Blanca. He didn't look like a monster. He just like a dude in a wig.
Did he at least have like the iconic chest hair and stuff?
I think he did have the orange chest hair and the orange wig. Yeah,
but that was literally it. He didn't have any electrical powers. He didn't do anything. I think he like was going to kill Jean-Claude's character, and then at the end saved him, and then he died, like sacrificed himself. Yeah, that was him. Yeah.
It's pitiful.
Look up if you haven't seen Street Fighter. You're a fan of Street Fighter. You haven't seen the movie. I mean, first of all, I commemorate you for holding out. I salute you for just not wanting to watch that, but just do yourself a favor and look at an image of Blanca and just. I'm sorry.
Laugh out loud like we did.
Blanca
or puke in your mouth.
Looks like the drummer from the Doodle Bops.
I don't know who that is.
Mo, oh my God, I'm showing you.
That generational gap.
Doodle Bops.
Looks
Okay,
like
so yeah,
Mo
like you said,
from the Doodle Bops.
Definitely a generational gap. Oh my Lord! I really want to see who it is you're speaking of. Because
this is Mo.
Oh my God.
Jesus Christ.
Why is that perfect?
There you go, Jake.
It's pretty close.
Once again, if you don't know what the Doodle Bops is, because are who they are, what they are, look up Doodle Bops. Yeah. Wow. No, they can't see that, and plus they're going to be only listening to audio, so they're definitely not going to be seeing any of this.
Oh my God, Street Fighter broke even.
Really?
It had a budget of $35 million and brought in a box office of $165 worldwide.
Wow. But, to be fair, Spider-Man 3 did the same thing.
True.
It's just all about hype. Like, if it's like, oh, a Street Fighter movie, I can't wait to see it. You mean you're going to ignore some of the small things in the trailer because you're excited to see a Street Fighter movie.
Yep.
And then you see it and you're like, well, that's a waste of my money.
Just like Dragon Ball Evolution.
Listen, oh my God.
Listen, this is supposed to be about video game movies, but we do have to put this movie on blast. What?
Well, Dragon Ball is a big video game franchise. Budokai, Tenkaichi, Final Fight, all of them.
But wasn't it comic first?
It was a manga first.
It was a manga first, but still.
And then an anime.
Still a big video game franchise.
Yeah, the point of this movie. It's like I say, we still have to kind of like drag this.
There's anime movies.
We gotta drag. Yeah, there's anime movies. But I want to drag this one particularly. We could save the other ones for another time, but this one needs to be dragged through the mud. What kind of LSD infused fentanyl were they smoking when they came up with that idea?
Whoever wrote that just was like, I've never really seen Dragon Ball, but I'll give you a story. What's the key points? Got it. All right, I'll have it for you in a week.
Well, you know that super buff Japanese dude who's always flying around on like a cloud and stuff? Yeah, let's make him a skinny white dude. And Master Roshi, he's not an old man with a cane. He's just your drunk uncle. Like, he's the dude on the couch who just got up from his nap. Like,
oh my God, I didn't see it. I didn't see the whole thing. I'm not please forgive me again out there because I think I said this last time, but I'm not a fan of anime or Dragon Ball Z. But I tried to watch that movie and I couldn't even get past. I couldn't watch it.
So bad.
It was. Thinking about it right now is giving me repressed memories.
I'll never watch it again. So if you take anything away from this podcast today, remember these movie titles and just don't waste your time with them.
Unless you like really bad movies. Unless you just like watching bad movies for the sake of bad movies. They're not bad like Trolls 2 bad. They're bad like amazing. I can't watch this bad. Oh my eyes are bleeding. They're eating me. They're eating her. And now they're gonna eat me. Oh my god!
Triple decker bologna sandwich. Hey, for the record, everybody listening, Troll 2, if you've never seen it, I think it was like the world's worst movie or something like that. Definitely check it out. That movie is a blast. If you like to smoke a fat one and watch that movie, you'll laugh all the way through it. Unintentional comedy is the best.
Speaking of bad movies, bad good movies, another one. Actually, I think you recommended it to me. There's actually a couple of them that we had like binge watched. The Bird one.
Oh my god, yes.
Birdemic.
Yeah, Birdemic was wonderful.
God,
Didn't we watch 1 and 2?
Yes, we did. Hoping 2 would be something different.
Oh my Jesus. Okay, so Birdemic, if you haven't never seen it, it's just basically, it is an independent movie about a group of friends who get hit with a bird pandemic. Basically, birds just come and start killing everybody. And it's not like they start attacking people's faces or anything like that. No, they're like suicide bombers. They dive into people's cars and somehow cause mass... These birds are crazy.
They're exploding shit everywhere.
And the thing is, there's like 12 of them the entire movie. They were just like reused bad CGI the entire time.
The whole movie was edited on a flip phone.
Probably was it. It probably was.
It looked like it had a budget of $12.42.
You should have
and
seen
$10 was spent on Crafty.
You should have seen these people trying to kill these birds. It's like it was not frightening.
Yeah, it is not. There was, and it must be like the best or the worst part of these movies was the ending where it just ended. Like after everybody died, like everybody's dying, everyone's city's getting destroyed, and they just leave. Like
the birds just fly away, and it follows them in roll credits. That's it. We're done here. Moving on.
We've killed your city. We're going.
The writer's just like, I'm bored. I don't want to do this anymore. Scene.
The writer committed suicide, and someone took over the ending. Like, fuck it. This is the best I got, boss. Run it.
I promised Josh I would get through this for him. My God, this is awful. It's just, that's good.
I mean, unless the movie was made to like be made fun of, you know, like did they do this intentionally, or was it like they actually like poured their all into it? It just
think that they poured their all into it because the next movie I'm about to mention looked like they actually intentionally made it bad, and this was one that another one that you know where I'm going with it. This is another one that Jake recommended. Velocipaster.
Fantastic.
That movie was bad, but it was so fucking good.
I think it was bad on purpose, but it was hard to distinguish. And it was so funny how they did everything that it was great. That movie was a good flick. I recommend watching Velocipaster and know that they were doing it on purpose.
When that car like blew up or whatever with the old people standing next to it.
Was that like the opening scene?
Yeah, I think it was.
Oh my god.
Didn't it like pop up with like the name of like a file or whatever?
Yeah.
The placeholder. Yeah.
That movie was awesome.
You saw it, right, Jake? Of course.
Yeah, that's another movie I would describe as brain rot. Yes.
Yeah.
Brain rot is a good. Yeah.
But that is a good type of brain rot, though.
I enjoyed that. That was fun.
Because I really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
I think sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say they got me on concept alone. A pastor who can turn into a velociraptor. Say less.
The prostitute.
Yeah. Just like Jesus.
Shit, go ahead, put that in a comic for me or something. Like, I want to see more.
I want a video game, Velocipaster. How many heads can you bite off?
Yeah, that's a good one. Must watch, people. If you can find it, watch it.
Any of you have any horribly good movies that you have seen?
The sequel to Velocipaster.
You saw it?
Pedodactyl.
Is there actually one?
No.
I was gonna say, like, why have I not seen that, and why have you not mentioned that?
I'm trying to think if there's been some other ones that were just horribly great.
I can't think.
I'd have to really put some thought into that.
Maybe that could be a topic of another one. Because I was just thinking, because those two movies just came to mind. Did you have something to add, Jake?
Trailer Park Shark.
Oh
Trailer
yes,
Park
those
Shark?
are another brain
I could
rot.
pull out another list of movies that I've watched. I love
The
Sci-Fi Channel
Sharknadoes.
movies. Like Sharknado was the first one was okay. After that, it was overdone. But the other one is Lava Tarantula.
Hold on, what?
It's about a town that's overran by tarantulas that have came from like lava, and then there's a sequel called To Lava, To Lantula, and it has half the cast of the Police Academy movies in it.
Oh my god!
What?
Okay.
It's like Mark Gutenberg's in it. The guy who does
Steve
Steve Gutenberg, yeah. Mayonnaise names. Steve Gutenberg's in it. The guy that does the voices.
Yeah.
And then I think the female desk jockey cop is in it, and Hightower, because Hightower was still around then. So there's quite a few big names that are in the second one. The first one, it's just something you have to. It's an experience. Like I told you, like Velocipaster, when I told you about that, you were like, "Is it good or bad?" And I told you, it's an experience.
Yeah.
Like,
So what is it called? Just say the sequel's name for me one more time.
To Lava, To Lantula.
To Lava, To
That's priceless.
Now, what's the first one again? Lava Tarantula?
I think it's called Lava Tarantula.
I'm going to have to add that. Along with the Trailer Park Sharks.
Trailer Park Shark. Yeah, Trailer Park Shark's about... I'm starting to wonder when the production year on it was, because it might be a little distasteful. But it's set in New Orleans and the levee breaks and it floods a trailer park. And a shark that for some reason is like in the Mississippi River, that's not explained. But it's there. It's eating people. They're attacking these people that are basically surviving on top of the trailer. So it's a nice little like cheesy like horror suspense
It's a
thriller.
cool concept. I like that. I would see that.
But I mean, it's Birdemic in quality.
Oh my god.
To Lava, To Lantula is like, that looks like fucking in-game.
Well, speaking, before we get on out of here, I want to pitch. Well, it's not even a pitch. It's a movie that me and Austin, you guys know Austin, me and Austin wrote back in the day. I'm talking like 7th, 8th grade, and it's definitely sci-fi worthy.
I've heard it.
You have? Oh yeah, you guys have, but you guys haven't out there in the ether. It's called 12 Feet Deep, and what it's about is a group of friends. Okay, just a group of friends who are for some reason going to school on a Saturday. It's for a party at a school on a Saturday, which kids would go to for what I don't know. And there is a dam in Ohio, in Cincinnati.
Damn.
And there's some giant serpent-like creature that they're just like, hey, there's this giant serpent-like creature. We're going to go ahead and put it in the river to the dam and reservoir to keep it safe. Okay, sure, whatever. So the dam and reservoir, again, that covers over Cincinnati, breaks, floods Cincinnati. And these friends who are setting up this party at a high school on a Saturday gets flooded with them in it. And out of all the places that are in Cincinnati that are now underwater, this giant serpent decides to go to this specific school and terrorize these specific kids. Everybody dies, but they're all like high school kids, so like all like 16, 17, 18, they're all getting murdered very viciously by this serpent that's somehow in Cincinnati that was somehow flooded by a dam that they somehow had.
Josh, I'm going to stop you.
Thank you.
If I worked for Sci-Fi, I'd buy that idea.
Well, Sci-Fi, you heard. That idea is up for sale, and since it's heard here first, you try to steal it, I will cry. Because I wouldn't.
So tell me about this serpent. Like, what makes it scary? Does it have legs? Is it more like a snake?
It was like an anaconda, but it was like an anaconda on acid.
a water anaconda.
Like, actually, on
acid.
steroids. Water anaconda on steroids
Dear
and
God,
acid.
water anaconda
It was huge.
on steroid acids.
Yes.
Acidic steroids.
Yeah.
Acidic steroids.
That had a taste for teenage blood specifically.
So you telling me this water scorpion is high as shit while just also pumping iron and torturing high school students?
That's exactly what's happening. And there was a sequel.
Oh my God! I got a sequel.
We wrote it. We started to write a sequel. We never actually finished it because we started to realize how dumb this sounded.
It's pretty creative for a couple of 12-year-olds, though. That ain't bad.
No, I said 8th grade.
Oh, man. Okay.
Oh wait.
7th and 8th grade. So we're like 14, 15, 16, 13, 14, somewhere like that. I don't
Like 14.
Yeah. But yeah, that was our story of 12 Feet Deep, and we were so creative. We named the sequel 12 Feet Deeper.
I mean, if given the right budget and maybe some more time to like refine the story, we could have a hit on our hands. Come on now.
What do you think?
I hate you. I hate your current self, and I hate 12-year-old you. 12-year-old Austin.
Well, look, like you said, sci-fi might buy it if we ever write it, which I won't.
You should.
Jake, you want to write it?
No.
Okay.
I feel like you could.
Dude, do you want to write it?
I feel like you could literally microwave a turd for the length of a movie and send it to Sci-Fi and they'll buy it.
Oh, actually, again, I know we're getting ready to get out of here, but you guys have time for... You guys want to hear one more of our bad stories that me and Austin made?
Let's hear it.
Okay, this is... Everyone's seen Jurassic Park and Jurassic World, right? Like Jurassic Park and Jurassic 2.
Too.
Jurassic Park 2. Well, this was after the second Jurassic Park, and me and Austin, once again, 8th grade this time, confirmed 8th grade, getting ready to go into high school, wrote the third installment of Jurassic Park.
What?
Once again, took place in Cincinnati.
Okay.
And the sequel picks up after, or the third one picks up after the sequel. So they somehow get all the dinosaurs onto the mainland, and they actually have a theme park called Jurassic World in Cincinnati. We all skip school on a Thursday or like a Wednesday, whatever, some random ass day, to go there. We skip school and get dropped off by our parents to go to Jurassic World and play with dinosaurs. So it was me, my friend, Austin, and one of my friend classmates, Emily. We all went, hung out, and seen whatever. And there's this exhibit with a Dilophosaurus, the one with the the Dilophosaurus with the the venom or whatever.
Shoots the stuff.
There was an exhibit, and they're like, "Hey, you want to go in there with them?" And we're like, "Yeah." That's so perfect. Yeah. So
sorry, that's what started playing in my head when you said the Jurassic Park 3.
You know what? I'm not even gonna lie. That's exactly what plays in my head right now too, as I tell this story.
I mean, so far you got me.
So anyway, they let can't remember which one of the characters it was, but they let us unsupervised into the Dilophosaurus contained area, and we're just like, yeah, look around, child. Look around, 8th grader. We went into there was nothing there. So when the character goes into the manhole. Yeah, I said that right. The character goes into the manhole, somehow that's connected to this exhibit, and it's down there. Don't know how it got down there. But the moral of the story is there was just one. There was one Dilophosaurus in the sewer with dark. Needless to say, somehow the character survived. All right.
So there was one of a dinosaur that's usually in like a pack.
Listen, don't ask questions, okay? I wrote this in 8th grade.
Carry on. I'm invested.
So anyway, so basically, long story short, there's an obvious breakout where the dinosaurs get out, and there's somehow me and this group of 8th graders get guns. Ask me how, I can't answer. We just somehow miraculously get guns and shoot our way through Jurassic Park.
That's fucked
The
up.
end.
Dun, dun, dun.
That's a dark turn there.
that
Credits rolling while they explain.
There's 3 names in it.
So, are your little 8th grade minds not like traumatized by all the dinosaurs that you just murdered?
No, I think actually the next day we went to school and talked about it.
They were heroes.
Yeah, no therapy or anything. I even think our mom picked this up.
But there's still kids in the back of the classroom playing with dinosaur toys.
Yeah. And you know what? That's fine.
And these 3 kept the guns. Fuck 'em.
Yeah. I had a joke that followed up there, but I don't want to say it. I'm going to keep that in case.
So, anyhow, to recap this episode.
Yeah, to recap this episode, Hawkeye was awesome. Video game movies sometimes are bad.
And sometimes they're good.
And sometimes they're good. And 8th grade Hapless is definitely clinically insane and should seek help.
Still hasn't.
So going into our final notes, Julian, Guyman, what are your final thoughts of the day?
On your atrocious Jurassic World movie, or
There's your final thoughts.
My final thoughts. Well, I think that you should definitely write another Jurassic World movie where all the dinosaurs come back to life and start shooting the 8th graders.
The same, who are now adults now.
So they're gonna like go and hunt these kids down because they remember like what they did to their families back then.
You know what? I think we have a hit. You can't take that. It's copywritten. Fireball.
Thoughts?
Final thoughts of the day.
Listen very carefully. This is extremely important that everyone pays very, very close attention to this. Batman. That is all. That is all.
I think everyone gets the moral of the story on that one.
Very, very simply put.
Yeah, I think we got that one. Jacob, what are your final thoughts, Jacob? I know you got some final thoughts, Jacob.
Final thoughts.
How many times in your life have you heard that?
A lot every time he comes here.
Yeah, final thoughts. That's what we say right before we leave. Final thoughts. It's all structured and everything.
Yeah.
From 6:15 to 6:30, we hang out and play video games. From 6:25, we take a break and take a shit in separate bathrooms. 6:30, we come
sometimes.
back.
Sometimes I might need someone to hold my hand.
And then we leave with final thoughts. You know, Hawkeye was a solid, well-rounded MCU-based adaptation. I'm sure a lot of people probably are still asking who asked for this, and I did when I saw Hawkeye on screen back in 2012, where I was like, who is that? So 19-year-old me got closure this week. You know, not all video games are bad. Not all video game movies are bad. Uwe Boll is a terrible person. And I learned that I would probably get fired from working in the purchasing department for sci-fi.
Yeah, because if you definitely purchased our idea, you'd be out of a job. you might have to get an OnlyFans to stay afloat.
What are your final thoughts, Luckett?
My final thoughts, I actually have 2. One of them is always look both ways before crossing the street. And the second one is pumpernickel.
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 What a thought.
I agree. But no, yeah, I'm excited to see where the MCU goes now that Hawkeye is over. They haven't really decided or announced who the next show is, but signs say that it's Miss Marvel. But we also might get She-Hulk, but I don't think so. I don't think She-Hulk is ready yet. So who knows? And who knows what it leads? All I know is the next film we've got is the Multiverse of Madness in the MCU. Because I don't care about Morbius enough. I mean, it looks good. It looks good. I want to see it. But when it comes to those two, Morbius can take a back seat when it comes to Doctor Strange.
Good old Doc.
For sure.
Yes. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, we will be back again next week. We never even said happy holidays.
Yeah, sorry, a little late on that.
We are horrible people.
Happy Boxing Day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Happy return all the stuff you didn't want day.
I thought holiday shopping was bad.
Holiday returning is worse. That is the real walk of shame.
That's the real moral of today's show.
So yes, we will see you guys next Saturday. We only did it today because yesterday was Christmas. So we will see you guys next Saturday at 6:30. Peace. Wait, I actually gotta physically get up and turn this.
Yeah, you might want to go do that.
Finger guns.
Bye, everybody.